Hello, welcome to the Nature Doctor channel. I'm Scarlett Winters, ND, and today I want to talk to you about a topic that is really widespread, that affects just about everyone, and that is feeling like your life is out of control. Health issues in general, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual, seem to come in waves. As in my naturopathy practice, it seems like I'll have a lot of people with one particular issue all at one time, and then a month later it's a whole new issue. And in my most recent email newsletter, I mentioned that the issue that seems to be at the top of everyone's list right now is feeling overwhelmed. And I don't think it's just the time of year. I've been hearing this for a while. I think that we all are just in a cycle of overwhelming ourselves in our schedules, trying to do too much. And I'm sure that if you can't relate to it, you know somebody who can. And I'm not saying that I have everything figured out, because over and over again in my life, I've had to be reminded that doing too much and overstating my limits will end up with me being unhealthy and unhappy. And it's not something that you just deal with and then, okay, you're cured. You're never going to be a workaholic again. At least it hasn't been that way for me, and I haven't seen that be that way for a lot of people. It's kind of like your relationship with yourself and your schedule is a lot like a marriage, where you have to work at it every single day. You have to make it a priority every single day. But that's much easier said than done. So you're going to be hearing a lot of good information. I hope it's good for you from me on all different levels. You can go to the website, which is healthypeoplellc.com, and you'll be able to find the December-January newsletter and read some more in there. Also, you can visit the 2-Year Health Forum on bloomingtononline.net for more information. You can check us out on Twitter at ScarlettND or on Facebook at Healthy People LLC. But for you, if you're thinking, take a moment and just kind of assess yourself. Are you feeling overwhelmed? When was the last time you really checked in with yourself and how you were feeling? People are so busy that they just can't stand it. They don't have time to get everything they need to do done. They certainly do not have time to do the things that they want to do. And schedules are out of control. People don't have time to sometimes even think about what can make changes in their lives. So I think it's time for us to take our time back and take our schedules back. It's time to simplify and make our well-being a priority. And if we do, studies show that we'll be more productive, more robust, and good things will come to us more easily than they do when we're all harried and confused and running around like a chicken with its head cut off. All in spite of the stories that we keep telling ourselves about how things are going to fall apart if we don't do it, how such and such consequence is going to happen if we don't do it. Sometimes the way to be the best is to accept things as they are as good enough. So I'm going to try to give some tips and tricks over the next little while that will help you do just that. And the trick that I want to talk about today is just taking a look at what your life is really like. So start out by writing down, and this is what I would do if I were working with a client, is I would say, okay, let's go through what is a typical year for you. What cycles happen in the course of a year for you in your life? And then, okay, what does a typical month look like for you? And write that down. Okay, what does a typical week look like for you? And write that down. What does a typical day look like for you? And write that down. And once you've done that and taken some time with it, you'll notice a lot of patterns, probably, and areas where there's highs and lows, where things get better and then things maybe get worse, and you can start paying attention to those patterns. So the first step is just awareness, paying attention. And so that right now, that's all I want you to do. So I'm going to be your coach for the next however long, however many months that it takes. We're just going to move really slowly, and I'm going to do this too, and we'll work together to see if we can't simplify our lives and be more productive and be more effective, be there for the people that we need to be there, and most importantly, be there for ourselves. So first step, make those lists of what does a typical year look like, what does a typical month look like, what does a typical week look like, what does a typical day look like. And you can write that out however you want to, in narrative form, in list form. You can draw it, whatever works for you, but a way that you'll really understand the cycles that happen in your life. And then we'll take the next steps in a little bit. Have a great day. Thank you.